Hey everybody, I'm back and we're just going to keep rolling. So we've been going through the 12 websites. We had just talked about iWindsurf. Now we're going to talk about windy.com. I love this website. It's extremely useful and you can gain a ton of information from it. So first in the upper right, you can zoom in or zoom out, and then you can move left and right to look at different parts of the world. So if you're in Europe or Australia or Brazil, you can focus in on that area. So for now, I'm going to focus on Western New York and the Great Lakes region because that's where I am. So let's start on the right again. You'll see this vertical strip, and at the bottom, if you click on more layers, you can add things to the vertical strip that is going to remain at the top right of your screen. So what I feel is necessary to have in this strip, you need wind, and underneath that you need wind gusts. So when you're over in more layers, just find wind and wind gusts in this list and click the little button. You can see here wind and wind gusts. So I have that on. All right. And then in addition to wind and wind gusts, really important to have pressure. So when I click on pressure, my screen looks like this. You can see the low pressure system right here, and you can see high pressure over here to the east. And so now where the lines are close together, these ISO bars, I know that there's a pressure gradient there. So when I go back and click on wind, where the lines are close together, you're going to see more wind. Okay, so you can see orange in here. This is the average wind. You can see orange up here. If I click on wind gusts, it's really going to show us some different colors. So now these are really strong wind gusts. Then down at the bottom left, you can click the play button and it will animate how this system is going to move across the Great Lakes region in this case. And so you can see that by Monday morning, there's going to be some pretty intense wind gusts on the Great Lakes region. And if you click back over to my article and scroll down to number 10, you will see a section here on pressure systems. So if you read through that and compare that to what we just talked about in the video, you'll gain some further insight. And there's a few other sections here that relate to windy.com as well, but I'll let you discover that in your own time. Now, down in the lower right, you'll see there's 3 different forecasting models. This is really helpful because right now I have the GFS, which is the Global Forecast System, which we also saw on iWindsurf. On the left part here, you can click on the NAM, which is the North American Mesoscale. That is also available on iWindsurf. But in the middle is the European Center for Mid-Range Weather Forecasting, better known as the Euro. It's not as long to say. And that forecast is not available in very many places without paying a lot of money to get it. So it's really fortunate for us that we have access to windy.com and we have access to the Euro. So if I can zoom in on the Great Lakes area, I can actually zoom in right on Buffalo. I can see the animation of what the wind direction will be. I can see what it looks like on Lake Ontario compared to Lake Erie, and I can see all this at a glance. It only takes a second to look at it. And then I can advance it to see Monday, I can advance it to see Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's very useful. But I want to say that I think the most useful part of this is if you, again, click on pressure. The most useful part of this is to give yourself a visual of what the system is going to look like on the day that you're windsurfing, kite surfing, or whatever you're doing, because it just helps you to better visualize what's going on at the beach when you're at the water and you're deciding if it's going to continue to blow at that location, if you should drive somewhere else, if you're deciding if you should rig big, rig small. Having a visual of where the low pressure is, the high pressure, it just gives you an additional sense. It gives you almost that sixth sense of what's going to happen with the weather. So this is a very valuable website. I hope it helps. There's a lot of other features, but I just wanted to point out the ones that are most useful. Back on the right hand side, you can find icons that you can add to your vertical strip here for rain, for temperature. If you go back and look at the other layers, you can get everything from fog to cape values to even waves and swell. So I hope you find this useful, and we'll do the next video in a couple of days.